Have you actually read the book?
I found it compelling, though I'm primarily interested in your more recent endeavors.
I take that as a compliment.
RDJ's Sherlock Holmes 3 has the potential to fix the biggest flaw in Benedict Cumberbatch's TV series. So let's talk about what we know about the upcoming Sherlock Holmes 3. Before we dive into Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes, let's take a moment to appreciate how Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's detective continues to capture imaginations worldwide, even a century after his creation. With various Sherlock Holmes movies and TV shows in the works, it's clear that the iconic character remains a popular and adaptable figure, thanks to being in the public domain. While some adaptations, like Sherlock Holmes Seasons 3 and 4, faced issues, they were initially successful. On the other hand, Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes movies and Millie Bobby Brown's Enola Holmes films have generally been well received. What makes Sherlock Holmes so enduring is its versatility as source material. It seamlessly transitions into different times and settings, with side characters like John Watson and Mycroft Holmes deserving their own spotlights. Plus, modern writers can introduce new characters, like Sherlock's sister or daughter, to tell fresh stories. Now, let's shift our focus to Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes 3. This sequel to 2011's Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows continues the adventures of Downey Jr.'s Sherlock alongside Jude Law's Dr. John Watson. Directed by Guy Ritchie, the first two films were box office hits, raking in over $1 billion globally against a modest production budget. Despite being confirmed years ago, Sherlock Holmes 3 has been stuck in development limbo. While updates have been sporadic, it's clear that there's plenty of anticipation surrounding the next chapter in this mystery thriller saga. So while updates on Sherlock Holmes 3 may have slowed down, there's still hope on the horizon. Susan Downey, the producer of the franchise, recently shared some encouraging news for fans. Although there isn't a concrete update to offer, Downey assured everyone that the project is still very much alive in our hearts. She emphasized the importance of finding the right story direction. With Guy Ritchie working on the prequel series, Young Sherlock, the spotlight is once again on the blockbuster movie franchise. Downey expressed her excitement about the possibility of seeing Robert and Jude back on screen together, highlighting the magic they bring. While there's no rush, she assured fans that there are some exciting developments in the works. Sherlock Holmes 3 was officially announced in 2011, following the release of its predecessor, A Game of Shadows. However, production progress remained sluggish until 2018, as reported by Collider. In July 2019, it was disclosed that Dexter Fletcher, known for his work on Rocketman, was brought on board to direct the third installment. However, subsequent updates regarding Fletcher's involvement have been scarce, with no official reasons provided for his potential replacement. Warner Brothers enlisted Chris Brancato, co-creator of Netflix's Narcos, to pen the script for Sherlock Holmes 3. Initially, a 2021 release was targeted when Dexter Fletcher was attached as director. However, this projection failed to materialize, largely attributed to the disruptive impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Since then, no revised release date has been announced, leaving uncertainties regarding the current status of the project's development. Regarding the cast, while no official confirmation has been provided, it is widely anticipated that Robert Downey Jr. will reprise his role as Sherlock Holmes, with Jude Law returning as Dr. John Watson. Other potential returning cast members remain unspecified, contingent upon the narrative direction of the film. As for the storyline of Sherlock Holmes 3, the conclusion of A Game of Shadows laid the groundwork for potential future adventures. Following Holmes' apparent demise in thwarting Professor Moriarty's plans, subsequent revelations of his survival offer ample storytelling possibilities. While specific details are yet to emerge, it is presumed that the narrative will entail a mystery that challenges the intellect of Holmes and Watson while placing them in perilous situations. Given the franchise's exhaustion, a rejuvenation through a combination of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's literary works and contemporary Hollywood creativity is likely to be explored to reignite audience excitement. With that being said, let's dive into why RDJ's Sherlock Holmes 3 might just offer a better take on Holmes's return than Benedict Cumberbatch's TV series. In Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows, we saw Holmes faking his own death in a dramatic showdown with Moriarty at the Reichenbach Falls. This storyline drew inspiration from Conan Doyle's The Final Problem and The Adventure of the Empty House, where Holmes supposedly meets his end and then returns years later. Now, imagine a third installment in the RDJ Sherlock Holmes saga, offering the proper reunion of Holmes and Watson. In the final moments of A Game of Shadows, Holmes reveals himself to Watson, having disguised himself all along, adding a tantalizing question mark to the end of Watson's memoirs. This sets the stage for a potentially thrilling comeback, far more faithful to the original stories than what the BBC series attempted. With all this time passed since A Game of Shadows, there's ample opportunity for Sherlock Holmes 3 to delve into Holmes's return in a manner true to Conan Doyle's vision. The groundwork laid by Ritchie's films, including the introduction of characters like Mary and Morin, means the focus can squarely be on Holmes's resurrection, his post-fall exploits, and the delicate task of repairing his relationship with Watson. Moreover, with Morin already established in Ritchie's universe, there's less need for elaborate introductions, streamlining the narrative and allowing for a more focused exploration of Holmes's comeback. Ritchie's films also boast a clearer sense of direction compared to the BBC's Sherlock, offering a chance to rectify any missteps made in depicting the aftermath of the Reichenbach Falls. All in all, Sherlock Holmes 3 has the potential to give fans the Holmes comeback they've been waiting for, and perhaps even outshine the previous attempts to bring this iconic detective back to life. That said, the BBC's Sherlock series, despite its initial success, stumbled when it came to Sherlock's return after the Reichenbach Fall. In the Reichenbach Fall, Sherlock's dramatic confrontation with Moriarty led to his apparent demise, only for his survival to be revealed later. This cliffhanger set the stage for a highly anticipated comeback, but unfortunately, the show failed to capitalize on this pivotal moment. The Empty Hearse, the episode that followed, attempted to bring Sherlock back in a lighthearted manner, but the comedic tone fell flat for many viewers. Instead of addressing the crucial question of how Sherlock faked his death, the episode veered into meta territory, poking fun at fan theories without offering a satisfying explanation. This shift in tone and failure to deliver on the mystery left fans feeling disappointed and disconnected from the story. The introduction of Mary Morstan felt out of place, and Moran's role was sidelined, further diluting the focus of the narrative. Without a clear direction post-Reichenbach Fall, the series struggled to recapture the magic of its earlier seasons, ultimately leading to a decline in quality. In essence, while the Reichenbach Fall marked a high point for Sherlock, the series faltered in its attempts to navigate the aftermath, ultimately losing sight of what made it great in the first place. While discussing Sherlock Holmes movies, it's worth mentioning that Millie Bobby Brown is likely to reprise her role for a third Enola Holmes film. Given the abundance of source material from Nancy Springer's book series and Brown's enduring popularity, it's almost inevitable that Enola Holmes 3 will be in the pipeline. The Enola Holmes franchise, based on Springer's novels, follows the adventures of Sherlock's younger sister, who harbors her own aspirations of becoming a detective. Both the original movie and its sequel were well received, boasting a star-studded cast including Henry Cavill, Helena Bonham Carter, and Sam Claflin. Despite Netflix not yet confirming the sequel, the prospect seems promising. Enola Holmes 3 is anticipated to draw inspiration from the third book in Springer's series, titled The Case of the Bizarre Bouquets. In this installment, Enola embarks on a quest to uncover the whereabouts of Dr. John Watson. Securing the return of the main cast members will be crucial for the success of Enola Holmes 3, although this may pose a challenge given Brown's burgeoning career. Nevertheless, Brown's involvement in Netflix's movie Damsel suggests her ongoing loyalty to the streaming platform that launched her career. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.